What's a pop womp in YouTube? Rival gaming here!
So the reveal trailer for Borderlands 3 released March 28, 2019, and then shortly after that trailer, Borderlands 1 Remastered released on April 3rd to celebrate. I decided since all this hype is happening for Borderlands, we should take a dive back into the Borderlands universe, Pandora, to see whether or not it was as good of an experience as some of us may remember. So to start this off, the first Borderlands started out on a bus. And on this bus, the characters you could choose from were introduced. We have Mordecai, the hunter, Lilith, the siren, Roland as the soldier, and Brick as, well, Brick. Oh, and the guy who's driving the bus, Marcus. Which is kind of odd that he's driving the bus, because he's actually an arms dealer on Pandora. He owns all the ammunition and weapon vending machines. Also, he lives in New Haven and offers a few optional missions for us to take on from him here. According to the lore, apparently, the reason why he is riding the bus in Borderlands 1 is because this is another one of his businesses. This guy is basically just a huge hustler. Also, I'm sure the developers wanted to introduce the face that narrates the Legend of the Vault story.
So, you want to hear a story, huh? One about treasure hunters. Have I got a story for you? Pandora. This is our home, but make no mistake, this is not a planet of peace and love. They say it's a wasteland, that it's dangerous, that only a fool would search for something of value here. It's tough out there, and you won't be able to just beat up on whatever you please until you're ready. Sure, you can take from the bandits or find things in the wild, but equipment you buy from my stores are guaranteed. And if you die, you can't get your money back because you're dead. I kid. No need to be so serious here. And if you're looking for the vault, well, you're going to have your work cut out for you. So don't be afraid to spend what it takes to get the equipment you need. You listen to Marcos. I come from 7 generations of merchants and I'm the best. Want to know why? Because I'm making it out here, in this place.
Yeah, in case you didn't know that, it's Marcus the Hustler who's telling the story. However, you're not able to choose him to fight with. Now, keep in mind, if you are new to Borderlands, there will be different characters to choose from in the other games of the franchise with similar abilities. Also, some new abilities are introduced too. Anyways, once we choose the character that we want, we'll hear from our guardian angel who helps guide us to a vault on Pandora. She's basically the voice in our head. Something interesting to note is in the remastered version, as you can see, this is what the guardian angel will look like. However, in the non-remastered version, this is what she'll look like. She'll have color to her. I'm not exactly sure why they decided to implement this change, but hey, it is what it is. I'm not complaining, it's not affecting gameplay. Anyways, after her introduction, the bus will come to a stop and we'll have to go through a little tutorial with this funky little robot being our guide. Now, if you have ever played Borderlands, you should remember who this funky little robot is. This is Claptrap. It's been literally years since I have played Borderlands, and I still remember this robot just because of its personality. It shined so much in this game.
Welcome to Firestone. I am CL4PTP. You may call me by my locally designated name, Claptrap. Those bandits really have it in for us, Claptrap. Using us as target practice is not part of our programming. And open! Yes! Oh, I don't like this. This is making me nervous. Take a deep breath. I can't breathe! This is just a recording of somebody breathing. It's not real! It's making me more nervous. I can see the code.
That little robot is hurt. He isn't going to last very long without attention. Why don't you look around for something to fix him up?
Am I leaking?
He seems to be okay. Now is the time to get moving and play your part in the journey to come.
Ooh, but check me out. Oh, come on, get down.
Honestly, if Borderlands didn't have the type of humor that they have in their game, I would not enjoy it as much as I do. I love Borderlands for the sake of their sense of humor that they add into the game, especially the personality of Claptrap.
Oh, come on, let's get down. Come on, everybody. Check me out. I'm dancing. I'm dancing.
It's great. Now, something back in the original Borderlands that some of you may not remember is that we did not have a minimap at the top right. Now, in the remastered version, they added that for our convenience, but it started out with no minimap. I mean, honestly, it wasn't that big of a deal if the minimap was there or not, because you could just use the compass that's right above the experience bar to navigate yourself around the map. But the developers just decided to add in a little bit of extra for our convenience to navigate even easier around the map when Borderlands 2 officially released. That's when we were first introduced to it. Now, they have added it in once again to the remastered version. And keep in mind, if you don't like the minimap at the top right, you can always just toggle it off by going to options. Something else that's pretty unique that changed in the remastered Borderlands version is if you go up to the new use station, the difference is in the Borderlands remastered, you have heads that you can now choose from. And there's a total of 20 different ones, 5 different heads on each character, as well as the default one, which I'm not counting that one. And also, as you can see, the whole layout of the new use station has changed up as well. So yeah, that's all of them for Mordecai. As you can see, this is all of them for Lilith. And keep in mind, you don't find these as drops as you would in Borderlands 2. Just in case you may be wondering. These, they just decided to add in just because they were feeling nice into the remastered version. Which, honestly, I think it's a nice little addition for them to take the time to do. Shows their character, I think. They didn't have to invest time adding this in, let alone making a remastered Borderlands for us to dive back into or get new players to check out that haven't experienced it yet. But yeah, this is all of them for the soldier, and here is all of them for Brick. So there was a total of 20 new heads that they added into this game, because these were not introduced whatsoever once again until Borderlands 2. Now, as for the story itself for Borderlands 1, overall it was laid out great. The game's story focuses on a group of 4 vault hunters who travel to Pandora to hunt down an alien vault, and it is rumored to contain advanced alien technology. That was one of the details Marcus had for us in the very beginning of Borderlands 1 when he was telling the story.
Many people tell it. The legend of the vault. My father would always go on about the vault, even with his dying breath. Advanced alien technology, infinite wealth, fame, power, women.
The very first boss fight that we go up against in Borderlands on our journey to this vault was Nine Toes. And honestly, the lead up to this boss was pretty good. We had to do a few missions, basically getting us prepared more for this fight. In a way, this kind of felt still like the tutorial, except we had a little bit more freedom of choice as we did in the very beginning. Basically, it was letting us know how each level is going to be, which we have to navigate through different missions and then eventually take on a boss in that area. For the most part, that's how the whole journey was, traveling to the vault. Within the beginning of the story as well, we learn about the Catch a Ride station, which this is where we can spawn in a vehicle with a rocket launcher or a machine gun turret, and you could choose from different vehicles to spawn, which all of them of course speed up the process for getting to point A to point B with. Another great aspect about the story of Borderlands are the characters.
Hey, you holler when you need me, alright? Well, if it is real, why they want putting the damn thing? Gold, hot chicks, monkeys. Well, bye now.
Don't be shy now, come on, catch a ride.
All of the characters have unique personalities, and once again, I feel like that's what makes Borderlands so great. The humor that they add into this. It is amazing and has really engaging storytelling. I recently hopped back on here and played through this since the remastered version just came out, and I was absolutely loving it. Some of the parts I completely forgot about, but a lot of it felt extremely nostalgic to me because I used to play this a lot when I was younger. Once again, Borderlands released back in 2009. I wasn't even graduated from high school then. Sheesh, it's been a while. So yeah, this game has great storytelling, loot to get, great boss fights, and not to mention there were secret boss fights also in Borderlands 1, such as after you eventually get to the vault and defeat the destroyer that comes out of it, something interesting happens to Claptrap and it becomes Assassin Claptrap, and you have to fight it where we very first got off the bus at in Borderlands 1 to start the tutorial. We have to come back here and fight it after we complete the whole game. So it makes like a full circle around. And for those of you that are unfamiliar with this part, no, you don't actually kill Claptrap. We do have to take him on as a boss, and then once we finish the boss fight, there's an ending cinematic with the credits on the side showing how we fix him to become back good. Let's just say he was going haywire. But yeah, that's one interesting secret boss fight. Also, there's plenty of other little secret boss fights you can find by doing the side missions on the bounty boards. As you can see here, for example, King Wee Wee. Once again, Borderlands sense of humor. What a name for a boss. Also, there is Kromarax the Invincible, which is actually the first raid boss technically for the Borderlands franchise. What I mean by raid boss is players would be able to grind out this giant crab worm over and over and over to get some amazing loot. There were so many drops after defeating this thing. It was like popping a piñata. I mean, it makes sense why this dropped so much. This was the in-game content after all. Once you were completely done with the game, this was something that you, or maybe you and your buddies, could go do for some fun and of course, good loot. Also, all of the Easter eggs that were added into this game is absolutely insane. I think this game holds a record for how many Easter eggs it does have, because literally almost everything is a reference to something. I mean, for instance, check out this weapon I got for taking out King Wee Wee. It's called the Spy, and the description for it says, "I spy with my little eye." I mean, you get it. There's a lot of little references. But there were a lot of really creative ones too that the developers implemented in. Such as, for example, if you head over to Treacher's Landing, and when you get here, head all the way over here on the map, you should find a boat, which, by the way, when you go on this boat, you'll get an achievement or trophy or whatever called "You're on a boat," if you haven't been on this boat before. Also, you can find Marcus the tour guide up front doing his little hustle as he usually does. Surprised he isn't here giving us a tour on this boat. I'm just kidding, but seriously though, the Easter egg here involves shooting these barrels. Each of these barrels contain a different element. This one is an explosive barrel. You shoot that one first. And then you look over here and you'll see a corrosive barrel. You shoot that one way out yonder. Okay, that isn't reaching. Alright, got that one. And then once you hit the corrosive, you want to hit the shocking, and then hit the incendiary right there. And bada bing, bada boom. That should trigger the Easter egg here. Check it out. Enjoy. As you can see, they really outdo themselves with their Easter eggs and secrets in this game. It's a lot of fun searching for them and discovering them, not to mention. And in case you didn't know who that was riding on that fish, that was Patricia Tanis, which is a character in the series.
Atomic batteries to power, turbines to speed. Ooh, I wonder what this does.
And I feel like that's a great aspect with the Borderlands franchise. I'm always expecting tons of secrets and Easter eggs with each game. So to answer the question within the title after replaying Borderlands Remastered, was Borderlands as good as I remembered? Yes. Yes, absolutely. And I hope I'm speaking for a lot of the community too. Borderlands 1 was amazing. Gearbox didn't really slow down with each game that they created. They really invested a lot of time with each of their creations, and you can tell. But yeah, I'm out of here, everybody. Thanks for taking the time to watch and listen, and hopefully you found this enjoyable. Until next time, peace.